Cutlass here, guys. Got the heater on. It's like 35 degrees outside, but it was warmer earlier. As you can see, I got new wheels. I love these wheels so much that I spent my interior money on them. Interiors are overrated, but I am going to still be doing the window trim as I have that. It's somewhere in there if you can get past the flash. But got the wheels on it. Looks pretty good. I got the Pontiac in here, so I really can't get the greatest shot, but I do got a couple of pictures up on Facebook and Instagram of it sitting on it, and I really like these wheels, and totally worth it. Now on another video, on Facebook I updated this, but on YouTube I don't think I did, and you guys can see the trunk is done. On the other video I was laying the paneling for the base for all of this paneling and psychedelic stripes and the lace work and all that stuff. So came out really nice. It's only got 2 coats of clear. Needs to get sanded, re-cleared to bury all the stripes from the layers of paint and little dirt nibs that got on it. But threw it back on because I took the car out for a drive last weekend, and man, this thing runs awesome. For it being 30 degrees, it didn't miss a beat. Still gonna need some carburetor tuning because it ran great in 30-degree weather. It's not gonna run good in 80-degree weather, but it runs great. I think I'm excited to hit the track this spring and see what it does. It took me quite a few years to build this engine. I did have some help from some amazing people. The intake, you can see, has been pretty heavily reworked and modified. We milled the flange flat because it did have an angle to compensate for the engine angle in the engine compartment. That was milled flat, and then spacer was welded on top to equalize the runner length, and everything was pretty much ported and blended in together by my buddy who also did the cylinder heads. And so yeah, I put the engine together. It took me about 5 years. It wasn't necessarily a cheap piece. A lot of effort went into it. It just took a while because I did have a good running engine in this car. Up until I sold it last year. We went 1229 at 108 with a pretty mild 350 olds, pretty basic bread and butter build, and I think it could have gone 12 O's, but I'm going to let that one go because we ran into suspension problems as soon as we put that 3500 stall converter in this thing. But yeah, with track season also coming up, I got safety items I'm going to take care of. I'm going to be upgrading the drive shaft. I'm going to be adding a secondary drive shaft safety loop to my already existing drive shaft safety loop, which is a little bit more towards the rear. So I'm going to be adding a drive shaft safety loop more towards the front, wherever I can squeeze one in. And yeah, so for safety purposes, we're going to be adding a secondary drive shaft safety loop, making sure my current one is reinforced. And along with that, I'm going to be remounting my front seats because currently the way that I have them mounted is not very safe. Technically, I think they could rip out of where my mounting points are. So what I'm going to end up doing is pretty much creating a much safer plate style anchor setup for these seats, which, goddamn glare, which are your common standard racing buckets. My interior is filthy, but don't, disregard that. I'm going to be remounting them, putting adjusters on them. I would like to see if the future wife will wheel it when she's my wife in a month and a half. So yeah, I'd like to get her behind the wheel of this. She's driven this quite a bit. The workhorse, the Pontiac. It's the cruiser. And so yeah, new wheels. Got a little bit of paint work. Obviously I did the gauges back in December. And we got a couple safety items. And I still need to do a little bit of suspension work. But for now, I'm happy. Like I said, we had the car out last weekend and this thing drove awesome. We're cruising at about 4,000 RPM down the highway. I did have it on the highway for about a 10-mile stretch. And man, this thing absolutely just sings at 4,000 RPM. It isn't even working. It loves the rev. A couple things I got to do is I got to reset my valve lash. It's a little too tight. I actually found the correct cam card for this cam. And right now I'm a little tight by about 4 thousandths. So I'm going to loosen it up, which will help it. And then I got to do a little bit of carburetor tuning because, again, it was running really good on a 30-degree day, and which is not going to be good in the summer. But yeah, overall, happy. I am also going to be changing the master cylinder. I'm going to be trying a 7/8 bore. Now, before I go to disc brakes in the front, I'm really trying to make these drums work a little bit better. Because, you know, guys have gone 10s, 9s on drums. And they're probably not the safest. I think I'm going to be somewhere in the 1170s. My buddy who ported the heads thinks I might possibly be a little bit faster. But it's going to take a while to get there. I know that for sure. I don't think... I think I'm lucky if I run a 12-hole my first time out with this car. We got our work cut out for us with suspension work and stuff. So, yeah, guys, keep following, subscribe on Facebook. We are Copper's Garage, YouTube, Copper Cutlass, along with Instagram, also Copper Cutlass on there. So if you guys are on any of those media outlets, follow us on all the other ones if you like what we do. On YouTube, I pretty much just do videos. On Facebook, I do some more detailed explanations on some of the stuff that I usually post on Instagram. And I also post other random things that I don't normally post on Instagram, like model car builds. And, you know, sometimes I post when I work on other people's stuff on Facebook, but, like, I won't post that on Instagram. You know, I post a little bit different stuff on some of the different outlets there. So, guys, again, thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. Follow us on Facebook, Copper's Garage, YouTube, and Instagram, Copper Cutlass. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.